Welcome to Numismatic USA, the channel where ordinary coins reveal extraordinary stories. Every week we explore the fascinating history, hidden varieties, mint errors, collector secrets, and real market values of America's most collectible coins. If you're passionate about coin collecting or simply curious whether the change in your pocket could be worth much more than face value, you're in the right place. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Numismatic USA and turn on notifications so you never miss another rare coin discovery. Now, let's dive into today's incredible coin. Have you ever looked at a penny and wondered if it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Most people see a 1-cent coin and spend it without a second thought. But experienced collectors know that some Lincoln cents have become legendary because of their rarity, condition, mint errors, and collector demand. Today's featured coin is the 1990 Lincoln Memorial Cent, a coin that millions of Americans have handled over the years, yet very few have taken the time to examine closely. What if one of these coins is already sitting in your change jar right now? The Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first regularly circulating U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure. Designed by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's profile has remained one of the most recognizable images in American coinage for more than a century. By 1990, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for over 80 years. During this period, the familiar Lincoln Memorial design was still featured on the reverse, a design created by Frank Gasparo and introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely at the memorial building, you'll notice something remarkable. Between the tiny columns, the seated statue of Abraham Lincoln can actually be seen. That makes this one of the few U.S. coins that depicts the same historical figure on both sides of the coin. Have you ever noticed that incredible detail before? The 1990 Lincoln cent was struck at 3 United States mint facilities. Philadelphia produced coins without a mint mark. Denver struck coins with the D mint mark, while San Francisco produced proof coins specifically for collectors bearing the S mint mark. Each mint served a different purpose, but together they produced billions of pennies to meet the country's demand for everyday commerce. One of the reasons collectors love Lincoln cents is that every year offers something unique. While the 1990 cent is considered a common date, finding one in exceptional condition is much more difficult than many people realize. Most examples entered circulation immediately, where they picked up scratches, discoloration, and wear from decades of everyday use. Coins that escaped circulation and remained in pristine condition are naturally much scarcer today. The composition of the 1990 Lincoln cent reflects an important chapter in modern U.S. coinage. Since mid-1982, Lincoln cents have been made primarily from zinc, with a thin outer coating of copper. This composition consists of approximately 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Although the coin still has the familiar copper color, the core is mostly zinc. This change helped reduce production costs as the price of copper continued to rise. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. It features a smooth edge rather than a reeded one, making it instantly recognizable among U.S. circulating coins. These technical specifications are useful when authenticating a coin because counterfeit pieces or altered coins often differ slightly in weight or dimensions. Now here's where things become especially interesting. While ordinary 1990 cents are extremely common, collectors are always searching for unusual varieties and mint errors. These include double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, and dramatic strike-through errors. Genuine mint errors are created during the manufacturing process at the United States Mint, and are highly sought after because every error tells a unique production story. Have you ever checked your pocket change under a magnifying glass? You might be surprised by what you discover. One of the most discussed varieties associated with this period involves proof coins where the S mint mark was punched differently on certain dies. Although these varieties are primarily associated with proof coins rather than regular circulation strikes, they remind collectors how even tiny differences can dramatically influence rarity and value. When evaluating any 1990 Lincoln cent, professional grading is extremely important. Third-party grading companies such as PCGS and NGC examine a coin's authenticity, preservation, strike quality, luster, and overall eye appeal before assigning a numerical grade on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. A heavily worn coin may receive a lower circulated grade, while an untouched mint state example could receive grades such as MS63, MS65, MS66, or even higher. At the very top of the grading scale, tiny imperfections invisible to the naked eye can make an enormous difference in market value. Do you think your penny has been preserved well enough to earn a mint state grade? Many new collectors believe age alone determines value, but that's rarely true. A 1990 penny found in everyday circulation is usually worth only its face value unless it displays a significant mint error or exceptional preservation. On the other hand, coins certified in superb mint state grades can command considerably higher prices because collectors compete for the finest known examples. Auction records have repeatedly shown that registry-quality Lincoln cents with outstanding grades can sell for impressive amounts, even when the date itself is common. That's because advanced collectors often seek the absolute finest certified example available rather than simply the oldest coin. Another factor influencing value is original color. Collectors classify copper-plated Lincoln cents into 3 color categories: brown, red-brown, and red. Brilliant original red coins generally bring the strongest prices because they have retained their fresh mint appearance without significant oxidation over the years. If you're lucky enough to own an attractive uncirculated 1990 Lincoln cent, proper storage is essential. Never clean the coin even if it appears dull or dirty. Cleaning can create microscopic scratches that permanently reduce collector value. Instead, store the coin in an acid-free holder, protective flip, or certified slab. Handle it only by the edges, preferably while wearing cotton gloves to avoid fingerprints and oils from your skin. Authentication is equally important. If you believe you've discovered a major error coin or an exceptionally well-preserved example, consider submitting it to a respected grading service. Professional certification provides confidence to both buyers and sellers and can significantly improve the coin's marketability. So what is a realistic value for a 1990 Lincoln cent today? A circulated example is generally worth face value. Attractive uncirculated pieces can sell for a premium depending on their quality. Certified high-grade examples may bring substantially more, especially if they display exceptional eye appeal or outstanding preservation. Genuine mint errors and rare die varieties can also command significant premiums depending on their rarity, condition, certification, collector demand, and recent auction results. As always, coin values change over time based on the marketplace, so it's important to review recent certified sales rather than relying on old price guides. Imagine discovering that an ordinary-looking penny you've owned for years is actually one of the finest surviving examples. That's exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than its face value. Before you spend another Lincoln cent, take a closer look. Examine the date, mint mark, color, strike quality, and overall condition. You never know what hidden treasure might be waiting in your collection. Have you ever found a rare Lincoln penny in your pocket change? Do you own a 1990 Lincoln cent? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. Another coin is ready to reveal its story, and this time it's the 1993 D Lincoln Memorial Cent. At first glance, this looks like an ordinary penny that has spent years in circulation, but appearances can be deceiving. While millions of 1993 pennies were produced, certain examples have become highly collectible because of their outstanding condition, mint errors, and strong demand among collectors. So here's a question for you. Have you ever checked a 1993 penny carefully? You might already own one that's worth much more than 1 cent. The coin we're looking at today was minted in 1993 at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark below the date. From the photos, the coin shows normal circulation wear with no obvious major mint error visible. However, a detailed inspection under magnification is always recommended because some valuable varieties can be difficult to spot with the naked eye. The Lincoln cent has been part of American history since 1909, when it was introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular U.S. circulating coin to feature the portrait of an actual historical person. The portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner, while the familiar Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse was created by Frank Gasparo and remained in use until 2008. One of the most fascinating details of the Lincoln Memorial design is something many people never notice. If you look carefully between the columns of the memorial, you can actually see a tiny image of Abraham Lincoln seated inside. That means Lincoln appears on both sides of the coin, a unique feature in American coinage. Did you know that before today? Like all Lincoln cents produced after the middle of 1982, the 1993 D cent is made primarily of 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of 2.5% copper. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and features a smooth edge. Although it has the appearance of solid copper, the coin's core is mostly zinc, a change made by the US Mint to reduce production costs. The Denver Mint produced well over 6 billion Lincoln cents in 1993, making it one of the year's highest mintage issues. Because of this enormous production, most circulated examples are worth only their face value. However, rarity isn't determined by mintage alone. Condition plays an enormous role in the coin collecting world. Many collectors search for coins with bright original color, strong luster, sharp details, and almost no contact marks. Coins meeting these standards may receive mint state grades from professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. A certified MS66, MS67, or higher example can be worth significantly more than an ordinary circulated coin. So what makes one 1993 penny worth only 1 cent while another sells for hundreds of dollars? The answer lies in several important factors: condition, rarity, strike quality, certification, collector demand, and recent auction sales. Another exciting part of collecting 1993 Lincoln cents is the search for mint errors. Although most coins were struck normally, some left the mint with unusual production mistakes. Collectors keep an eye out for double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, broad strikes, and strike-through errors. Authentic mint errors are created during the manufacturing process and can be worth substantial premiums depending on their rarity and condition. If you think you found something unusual, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce its collector value. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder and consider having it authenticated by a professional grading service if it appears to be an important variety or error. Another feature collectors pay close attention to is the coin's color. Lincoln cents are often classified as brown, red-brown, or red. Coins that have retained their original bright red mint color generally command the highest prices because they are much harder to preserve over time. Market values for the 1993 Lincoln cent vary widely. Most circulated examples remain worth face value. Attractive uncirculated coins usually sell for a modest premium, while superb certified examples in the highest mint state grades can sell for much more. Genuine mint errors and exceptional varieties may also command impressive prices, but their value always depends on condition, authenticity, rarity, certification, collector demand, and recent market results. That's why experienced collectors always research recent auction sales rather than relying on outdated price guides. The coin shown in today's photos appears to be a normal circulated 1993 Lincoln Memorial cent, with no obvious major error visible from these images alone. A closer examination using magnification would be necessary to determine whether any minor varieties or valuable characteristics are present. Before you spend your next penny, take a few extra seconds to inspect it. That simple habit has led many collectors to exciting discoveries over the years. Would you recognize a valuable 1993 penny if you found one? Let me know in the comments below. Another coin with an interesting story is ready to be explored, and this time it's the 2005 Lincoln Memorial cent. At first glance, it may seem like just another modern penny. Millions of people have carried one in their pockets without giving it a second thought. But for collectors, the 2005 Lincoln cent is another reminder that even modern coins can become valuable under the right circumstances. So here's a question for you. Have you ever taken a closer look at a 2005 penny before spending it? The 2005 Lincoln Memorial cent continues one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner, had already been featured on the cent for nearly a century by 2005. The familiar Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, was still being produced just a few years before the US Mint introduced the Lincoln Bicentennial designs in 2009. One fascinating detail many people overlook is that the tiny statue of Abraham Lincoln can actually be seen inside the Lincoln Memorial between its columns. This makes the Lincoln Memorial cent one of the few US coins to feature the same historical figure on both sides. Did you ever notice that hidden detail? Like other modern Lincoln cents, the 2005 coin is made of 97.5% zinc with a thin outer coating of 2.5% copper. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth edge. Although it appears to be made entirely of copper, its core is mostly zinc, a composition adopted by the US Mint in 1982 to reduce production costs. The 2005 Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, while the San Francisco mint produced proof coins specifically for collectors. Together, the Philadelphia and Denver facilities produced billions of pennies, making the 2005 cent a common date in circulation. However, common does not always mean worthless. Collectors know that condition is everything. A heavily circulated coin with scratches and wear is generally worth only 1 cent, but coins that remain in brilliant uncirculated condition with full original mint luster are much harder to find. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC carefully evaluate these coins using the Sheldon grading scale. High-grade examples, especially those graded MS67 or better, can command impressive premiums because so few survive in nearly perfect condition. Another exciting reason collectors search through 2005 pennies is the possibility of finding mint errors. While most were struck correctly, a small number left the mint with production mistakes. These include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, broad strikes, and strike-through errors. Genuine mint errors are created during the manufacturing process and can be highly desirable to collectors depending on their rarity and appearance. What would you do if you discovered an unusual-looking 2005 penny in your pocket change? Would you spend it or have it examined by an expert? The color of the coin also plays an important role in its value. Collectors classify Lincoln cents as brown, or red. Coins that retain their original bright red color usually sell for higher prices because they have experienced little oxidation since leaving the mint. If you own a nice 2005 Lincoln cent, proper care is essential. Never polish or clean it, even if it looks dull. Cleaning can permanently damage the coin's surface and significantly reduce its collector value. Instead, store it in a protective holder and handle it only by the edges to preserve its original finish. So what is a 2005 Lincoln Memorial cent actually worth? Most circulated examples remain worth their face value. Attractive uncirculated coins may be worth a small premium, while certified high-grade examples can sell for much more. Coins with genuine mint errors or rare varieties may bring even higher prices. As always, a coin's value depends on condition, rarity, mint mark, grading, certification, collector demand, and recent auction sales. That's why experienced collectors always check current market data before buying or selling. The 2005 Lincoln Memorial cent reminds us that every coin has a story. While most are ordinary, a few become extraordinary because of exceptional preservation or unique minting errors. That's exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when the next valuable discovery could be hiding in your pocket. Before you spend another penny, take a closer look. Examine the date, mint mark, and overall condition. Your next rare find could be closer than you think. Have you ever found an interesting 2005 Lincoln cent? Share your experience in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Numismatic USA for more fascinating coin stories, mint error discoveries, and realistic market values. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.